Surface of the heart, and you can see here this anterior interventricular groove. That is a fragment of the coronary sulcus. So we see it's a major part of the right ventricle here. Then we can see little fragment of the left ventricle together with this heart apex. On top, there is the right atrium, but right atrium is covered mostly by an embryological remnant after the embryonic right atrium. That is the right auricle. So this is auricle, and here we can see the left auricle. So we have two ventricles, two auricles, and right atrium of the heart. So this is the sternocostal. And now, knowing this, we actually are able to assume which of the chambers of the heart can be a subject of the damage. For instance, in the automobile collision, when the wheel just crashes the sternum plus adjacent, it mostly injures the right ventricle because it's the biggest here. In this diaphragmatic surface, however, the situation is slightly reversed. When you see this diaphragmatic surface, we can see this is the posterior interventricular, and then we can see a dominant chamber, then slight small chamber, and here we have this part of the heart that receives the inferior vena cava. So we can see in this diaphragmatic surface, not this way, not this direction. Better. So we can see here that left ventricle that is dominating. Then we can see the right ventricle that is significantly smaller, and then we can see right atrium of the heart. And finally, in the posterior surface, we can see that left dominant is the left atrium of the heart that receives two pulmonary veins on each side. We'll try to find it. Then we can see that's a coronary sulcus that separates a little fragment of the left ventricle. And we have here also the right atrium of the heart. So we have left atrium, right atrium, and the left ventricle of the heart. These are the quite important, actually, things to see. Well, here we have now the ventricles are they generate the big arteries. From the left ventricle, we have the ascending aorta, and the first branches of this ascending aorta are the two coronary arteries, right and left coronary artery. Right ventricle is giving rise to the pulmonary trunk or the pulmonary artery that next splits into right and left pulmonary arteries. The right atrium of the heart, here we can see a fragment of the right auricle, but this is majority, that's the right atrium of the heart. It receives the superior vena cava, that is the superior vena cava. I'm in. And now just exit through the inferior vena cava opening. And here we have this azygous vein that empties into the superior vena cava from behind. Here it arises from the union of the right brachiocephalic and the left brachiocephalic that crosses the anterior median line. So the right atrium receives the superior and inferior vena cava. And then we should find here also the left atrium of the heart, but the left atrium is not so well seen because it's covered here in this specimen, it's covered. This is the esophagus here, and the esophagus is located immediately next to the left atrium of the heart. It's immediately behind. This hole represents the subdivision of the pulmonary trunk, so this is the left pulmonary artery. Here we have the left primary bronchus. So see, this is the sequence of the elements that normally can be seen in each lung. See, this is the superior pulmonary vein, left superior pulmonary vein. Here we have the left pulmonary artery. This is the left bronchus. And then we can see here also the left inferior pulmonary artery. So we have the left superior, left inferior, this is the bronchus, and this is the artery. So when we enter this hole, for instance, this hole, we just enter the left atrium of the heart. And immediately posterior to the left atrium, we have this esophagus. That's the esophagus. Now, on the right side, the situation is a little bit more confusing. However, you can see this is the right bronchus with the eparterial and hypoarterial, because this is a relatively short cut. Then here we have the superior pulmonary vein, so that's a pulmonary artery. Here we have the branch that goes in company to the superior lobe. Here we can find this is the inferior pulmonary vein, right inferior pulmonary vein. We do not see here that's the artery. That's the artery. Here is the pulmonary vein. So they meet together. These two generally open into the left atrium of the heart. So in fact, we have here 4 chambers. And in the middle, these chambers are separated by actually 3 septa. Between atria and ventricles, we have so-called atrioventricular septum. That is certainly patent because in each half of this septum, there are certain orifices that are guarded by the tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Bicuspid, or the mitral, between left atrium and left ventricle. Tricuspid, that is located between right atrium and the right ventricle.